my very first Kickstarter for the new album that I am hoping to record this winter called The Long Road. You'll see a link for the Kickstarter in the description, regardless of what platform you are visiting on tonight. So I'm mostly going to be doing stories and songs from the new album, but I might consider requests if you have them, and I will certainly try to answer any questions that you have, whether they are about the songs and the inspirations, or about what a Kickstarter is, or anything else that might be relevant musically speaking. So I wanted to kick off with the title track of the album, which is The Long Road, and tell you just a little bit about that before I go ahead and play it, and then maybe talk a little bit about the album in general. So originally, The Long Road was inspired by a book that I was reading by Jacqueline Carey, and there's a group of people, nomadic people, in the storyline that talk about the lungo drum, the long road that they are always on. And they don't really have a homeland, a place to return to, and so they're always moving forward. And so I liked the idea of that, and we have various peoples, nomadic peoples in our world, not just the fantasy world, obviously, that follow that long road as well. But I think for some of us, at least for me, even if we are not physically on the road, especially this year, being physically on the road has been pretty much kaput. So, taking that journey in the physical manner is not happening. However, I am always feeling in my heart like I want to be moving forward, moving on to the next thing, meeting people, learning new things, experimenting, and just always moving on. So that's what this song is about. It's called The Long Road. Hello, everyone.
Walk the long road through our trials, through our joys. We walk the long road, read our footprints, read our lives. On and on we move, nothing holds us too long. Keep the rhythm flowing with drums and with song. On and on we move, many journeys in one. Forward we go forth till our time here is done. We walk the long road through our trials, through our joys. We walk the long road, read our footprints, read our lives. On and on we move, and we choose where to pause, choose how to grow, and choose our next cause. On and on we move, and we wield our free will, give all we are, and the trail calls us still. We walk the long road through our trials, through our joys. We walk the long road, read our footprints, read our lives. On and on we move with the ones we hold dear, friends cross our paths or entwine for a year. On and on we move, will you join us always? You are always free to go, but welcome to stay. We walk the long road through our trials, through our joys. We walk the long road, read our footprints, read our lives. Every moment matters, but nothing lasts forever. We plant the seeds and nourish them, trusting in the richness of the earth. Then we move on that we've done and conceived. On and on we move with the wisdom we're shown, knowledge we carry further down the road. We walk the long road through our trials, through our joys. We walk the long road, read our footprints, read our lives. Read our footprints, read our lives.
All right. Hello, everyone. Andrea, Chris, Thomas, and Jane, and everyone else that's watching but not commenting quite yet. So good to have you here with me tonight. So one of the things I was going to talk a little bit about is the harmony pedal that I'm using there. I know some of you are already aware, but this is a TC Helicon acoustic play pedal. I was using a different vocal harmony pedal as of about 6 months ago, and I had made a comment sort of unknowingly in passing when I was watching Madison Matricula Roberts performing, and she had a slightly fancier pedal than mine. And my parents happened to be watching that concert, and they contacted my husband and said, "Hey, what's the pedal that she mentioned? Because we want to get it for her." So they got me an upgraded pedal, which has some more features, the vocal harmonies, but also a lot of effect options and some vocal looping, which I'm going to be doing for you in a little bit. So you can thank my parents for that. I do love using the harmony pedal, especially when I'm doing oldies stuff, because how can you do Everly Brothers and Beatles without harmonies? However, once in a while, it has a little struggle finding the harmony. I think with the song that I just did in particular, because I'm using a drop D tuning on the guitar, and so it's a little confused about the chords that I'm doing, so sometimes the harmonies get a little wonky. So I am looking forward to being able to record the song and actually sing the different parts, so there won't be any of that wonkiness. Another thing that I'm excited about for that song in particular, The Long Road, so I have my album arrangements kind of partially worked out right now, and I've got a lot of guest musicians who are going to participate and help me out, which is awesome. And one of them is my former duo partner, Sue Balashek, who is now a part of an all-female drum and percussion ensemble called Primal Rhythm. You can check that out. They're awesome. But Sue has agreed to help me out with a couple tracks on this album, so I'm going to have her do some drums on that long road. I definitely want to have the drums and the tambourine and get that Roma feeling into it. So, all right, just catching up on the chat real quick here. All right, thank you, everyone. All right, so the next song that I want to do for you is called "See Your Face." So I mentioned. And if you've seen the Kickstarter page already, then you probably know this. If you haven't, a lot of the songs on this album are about challenges, and some of them are personal challenges, some of them are societal challenges and things that we've all kind of been dealing with, especially over the past year. So this one in particular is about being isolated during COVID and that desire to just see the faces of the people that you love. A good friend of mine, Annie from the Misbehavin' Maidens, talks about, it's so good to see your face and I miss your face. And that just made me think about how important this eye-to-eye connection is. And we can do it virtually, but it's just not quite the same. You're missing that energy. So I wrote a song about it. It's called "See Your Face." All my friends are online, can't talk to them in real life. Stripped of all our senses, can't touch in Facebook message. Think I lost my empathy, it's cut off by technology. Just let me see your smile, it'll keep me calm for a while in this new reality. The city
is a ghost town. Everyone's in lockdown. I look for reassurance to know I can endure this. Think I lost my empathy. It's buried in anxiety. Just let me see your smile. It'll keep me calm for a while in this new reality. I took for granted a night out with friends. Now I wonder when I'll see them again. All of the road trips and gatherings are canceled. We'll see what the future brings. And I just want to see your face. We'll pretend we're here in the same place. We'll share our strength and our fear. I'll know you're there, you'll know I'm here. And I just want to see your face. And I just want to see your face. And I just want to see your face.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for changing the grumpy face to a happy face. I almost reached out to Jen and Eric a few times today. They recently successfully funded a Kickstarter for their new album, which is awesome, and I will be getting it. And I was going to reach out and just be like, so the day that you launched your Kickstarter, did you just have a pit of acid in your stomach all day? Because that's what I felt like. But I love performing, so this is a good way for me to kind of ease into it. So kind of a general thing about the album. My mom mentioned congrats on the interview. So I had a local paper, the Times-Union, if you're in the Capital District, did a piece on me that was released today to coincide with the launch of the Kickstarter. And one of the questions that the interviewer had asked me was, why did you decide to do this album? Why now? What's going on with it? And the very first reason that I decided to do this album is I was thinking about the winter coming up and how am I going to stay sane is basically the question that I was asking myself. I know that everyone has had a lot of different types of challenges this year. And for me, one of the biggest ones has just been emotionally dealing with all of the loss of the conventions where I was going to see people and perform and have a great time and catch up and, build my career and all of that. And all of that just got shut down. And so looking ahead to another several months of that and kind of being stuck in the house more because there's a little less to be able to do outdoors when it gets real cold in upstate New York here. I was just like, all right, I need to focus on something positive. And I thought, well, might be time to start working on a new album. So then I kind of looked through the songs that I had written since the previous album release, and I had plenty to choose from. And they all started shaping up to take this theme of challenges, but also hope. Not just a song about something bad that's going on that we're dealing with, but realistically, how do we move forward? I'm not trying to paint everything with sunshine and roses, but what are the little steps? What are the things that we can do to either move forward or to deal with the stress in our lives? So as you hear some of the songs tonight, I'm sure you'll be hearing some of those my perspective, my reality on how do we keep moving forward. Thanks, Chris. I definitely perform John Denver when I'm doing cover shows. Always some John Denver in there. Okay, so I mentioned that another facet of the pedal that I'm using here is a loop sampler. So I am going to do a live vocal looping song for you. And this one was inspired by my visit last year to the Ohio Valley Folk Festival and playing Rapunzel, the duo who was the guest of honor. And they did a number of songs based on classic literature, like Robin Hood and Arabian Nights. And that got me thinking about some of the classic literature that has always stuck with me, fairy tales and things that I read when I was younger that just always kind of stuck. And so one of the songs that applied to is the fairy tale Wild Swans, or Elisa and the Wild Swans, sometimes it goes by. So in that story, there's 3 main ideas that came out to me. One of them is that this young woman is willing to do anything, to give up everything, to sacrifice everything in order to save her brothers. The second idea is that she calls on Morgana, the witch, the fae, Fata Morgana, to assist her in her quest. And the third thing is that she spends time throughout the story observing the water and sort of comparing her own plight to the water and the way it just continues to move forward past any obstacle. Slowly and surely, it moves on. So, in order to weave those 3 main ideas together, I'm going to be weaving some loops together here, and we'll see what you guys think.
Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Spread your wings and soar across the sea. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Not a word I'll speak until you're free. Fata Morgana, give to me the answer. How may I release them from their bonds? Fata Morgana, lay your trials upon me. No more shall I sleep until it's done. Fata Morgana, give to me the answer. How may I release them from their bonds? Fata Morgana, lay your trials upon me. No more shall I sleep until it's done. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Spread your wings and soar across the sea. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Not a word I'll speak until you're free. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Listen now and hear my silent plea. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. Every drop of blood I'll shed for thee. I am like the water flowing onward ever on, soft and silent like the water onward ever on. I am like the water wearing down the hardened stone. The water feels no pain like my own. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. The task is nearly finished, do you see? Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. And though I'm captive, you will soon be free. Fata Morgana, give to me the answer. How may I release them trials upon me. No more shall I sleep until it's done. I am like the water flowing onward ever and on, like the water onward ever and I am like the water wearing down the heart and I am like the water flowing onward ever and on, like the water onward ever and I am like the water wearing down the heart and I am like the water flowing. Give to me the answer. So may I release them from their forever and Fatai Morgana, lay trials upon me. No more shall I sleep until it's done. Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. The task is nearly finished. Do you see? Brothers, oh my brothers, return home to me. And though I'm captive, you will soon be free. I am like the water flowing onward ever on and onward ever on. I am like the water wearing down the hardened stone. I am like the water flowing onward ever on and onward ever on. I am like the water wearing down the hardened stone.
Ooh. Art, I'm going to breathe for a second. Catch up on the chat. Yes, 7 swans, Robin. Ooh, that was unintentional. Are you guys still seeing this, or did I just boot everybody off? Okay. I was trying to refresh one page and I refreshed the wrong one and I thought maybe I lost you all, but you're there. Okay, good. Okay. Totally lost my train of thought because I was like, oh no, I shut down my concert way too soon. No idea where I was going to go with that next. Okay. So if anybody has questions about the songs, the stories, the Kickstarter, the rewards, feel free to ask them and I will do my best to answer. So let me talk a little bit about a song that I'm not going to play for you today because there's a few songs on the album that really don't lend themselves to live versions. The album versions are definitely going to be different than the live versions or the loop versions or the recorded versions that I have done thus far. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have some guest musicians, so I get to fill things out. There's going to be some violin. There's going to be lots of drums and percussion. variety of things. I'll keep you up to date on that, and there's a little bit more about that in the Kickstarter description. But anyway, this song was written, trying to think how far back. I think early summer, late spring, early summer. We've been seeing a lot of protests, not just in our nation, but around the world about racism that continues in many countries. And the way that we see it in our country a lot tends to be with police brutality, but that's one specific instance that really doesn't address the whole system that we have created. And so I was feeling many things when a lot of these protests were coming up. Partly frustration that I wanted to be more involved, but fear that, going out there and being part of a big crowd was also not a good idea with COVID. And so, how do you balance that out? And sadness and anger and lack of ability to do anything. So I always I try to bring myself back to the fact that music is a power. And because it's my passion, I should be using it as my power. And music is a way to inspire people and motivate people and make people see things from a different perspective. And so I wanted to write a song about where I was at with the whole situation. And so I wrote this song called Stand Up. And it's really pretty simple. It's meant to be a call and response where you say, stand up, we're standing with you. Rise up, we rise with you. Weep, we weep with you. And rage, we rage with you. And just letting people know, no matter who you are, no matter what your background, that if you are feeling any of those things, there are a lot of people out there feeling the same things, and you're not alone. And so I wrote this song, and I got a request from a local organizer who knew me through other means. She was organizing a peaceful kind of sit-in sort of thing, and asked if I could come perform that song as part of the rally that they were doing. And I explained to her, it's a call and response. So would there maybe be, she had mentioned that there were going to be some faith leaders speaking. I said maybe one of the faith leaders who's comfortable with doing like a chant kind of thing could help me out, and we could share the call and response and actually get the crowd involved in it. And she felt that it might be a little too quick to pull that together because this was something that was going to happen in just a couple of days. And so she was like, well, maybe you could just play something else appropriate. So I was trying to figure out what might be the best song to do for this particular situation. And the song that I discovered that I thought was a great fit is by Malvina Reynolds. And so I'm going to play that song for you as a substitute since I'm not going to do Stand Up right now. But this is a great song. I modified a couple of the lyrics just a little bit because there were some things that were really terms that were time-based and maybe are not as familiar to people now. So I updated those a little bit. Okay. How do you do the donate tonight? There is a link in the description for the event. So in your case, on YouTube, there should be a link there. Actually, I'll go ahead and pop it in here too. So that is a link to the Kickstarter, and on the Kickstarter, you'll see all of the different reward levels, and you can choose the level that you are interested in and back at that level. And you can really pledge whatever you like for a level as long as you're pledging at least that minimum amount. Okay. I'm getting a little bit distracted, sorry. Usually I'm just walking down a set list. Today I'm, all the talking. Okay, so this is called It Isn't Nice.
It isn't nice to block the doorway. It isn't nice to go to jail. There are nicer ways to do it, but the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. You told us once, you told us twice, but if that is freedom's price, we don't mind, no, no. If that is freedom's price, we don't mind. It isn't nice to carry banners, or to sit in on the floor, or to shout our cry of freedom at the hotel and the store. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. You told us once, you told us twice, but if this is freedom's price, we don't mind, no, no. If this is freedom's price, we don't mind. We have tried negotiations and the token picket line. Those in power didn't see us, and they might as well be blind. Now our new ways aren't so nice when we deal with people of ice. But if this is freedom's price, we don't mind, no, no. If this is freedom's price, we don't mind. How about those years of murders and the knee upon Floyd's neck? Did you say it wasn't proper? Did you ever have our back? You were quiet just like mice. Now you say that we aren't nice. But if this is freedom's price, we don't mind, no, no. If this is freedom's price, we don't mind. It isn't nice to block the doorway. It isn't nice to go to jail. There are nicer ways to do it, but the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. Thank you, buddy, for your advice. But if this is freedom's price, I don't mind, no, no. If this is freedom's price, we don't mind. But if this is freedom's price, we don't mind, no, no. If this is freedom's price, we don't mind.
All right. I don't know Bread and Roses, Jane. Thanks for popping in, Sandy. It's good to have you. And hi, Annie. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you something. This is one of the reward levels that people might be curious about. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this project is to keep it as low budget as possible, to make it possible to do. And so I avoided doing a lot of physical merch and merch that requires expensive shipping, and did a lot of digital type rewards. So most of the rewards involve a lot of my time versus physical production, so they don't cost extra money. So one of those things that I am offering is sort of a side skill of mine, which is divination readings. And rather than tarot or some of the other methods that you might have experienced before with divination readings, I use gemstones. So it's a divining stones reading. And this is the board that I typically use. So it's got 8 different categories: self, relationships, long-term fulfillment, friends, career, short-term improvement, family, money. And if you choose that reward level, we will do a virtual reading together, and I'll have a camera on the board and explain to you as the stones fall what the purpose of each stone is, and then depending on where they're falling on the board and how they're intersecting with other stones, what that is telling you, with some advice about what to do with your current situation. Okay. All right, this is not a song that I have performed live more than maybe once. It's a very personal song. It was at the request of my aunt to write a song honoring her husband and her son, who both passed away separately a few years apart. And this is part of my family that I feel very close to. So I have a pretty large extended family. My mom is one of 8. My dad is one of 6. So lots of aunts and uncles and cousins. But this particular family, I've always kind of been drawn to because they also are very involved with creative pursuits. So theater, art, pottery, painting, paper making, music, video and film, and just, all of these different artistic endeavors. And so I've kind of looked at them as inspiration, and losing both the father and son of this family was difficult for many people, including myself. And so I wrote this song called Follow, and it's about how the father and the son both inspired each other and how they continue to follow this path of trying to live up to the other's, I don't want to say expectations, but live up to the other's joy of life and passion, and how they both kind of strive for that in different ways in their own lives. And in the album version, I want to make this a little more symphonic. So expect some strings other than guitar, some violin, maybe some cello. We'll see where things go with that. I might bring in the 12-string guitar for this one. We'll see. All right, this is called Follow.
As a young man, making my way, seeking inspiration, always turning back to you, following your passion. I watched the way you chose each moment, shaping them into a world that fit the way you dream. Every day, sometimes every hour, there's a part of me reaching out for your guidance towards the man you know I'll be. Though each step I take is my own, it's the path you followed that I see. So I never thought to run away to a place of certainty, where someone makes the choice for you and knowledge is kept out of reach. So I will keep asking, I will keep listening, I will keep laughing in the way that you taught me. Never settle for what's on the surface. The truth is hidden deeper. You said to take my time, find my eyes, and live as I believed. So I never thought to run away to a place of certainty, where someone makes the choice for you and knowledge is kept out of reach. So I will keep asking, I will keep listening, I will keep laughing in the way that you taught me. As a father, making my way through uncharted waters, found in you a light to follow, to keep me running true. And I couldn't stand to let you down by doing less, being less, everything I dreamed. So I never thought to run away to a place of certainty, where someone makes the choice for you and knowledge is kept out of reach. So I will keep asking, I will keep listening, I will keep loving in the way that you taught me. Never settle for what's on the surface. The truth is hidden deeper. Take your time, find your eyes, and live as you believed. And I will keep asking, I will keep listening, I will keep loving in the way that you taught me. I will keep asking, I will keep listening, I will keep laughing in the way that you taught me.
Ah, just reading Jane's comment here. I've got a Joan Baez poster that's right behind my computer so I can see it when I'm performing. That makes me think I should do my Joan Baez related song, because why not? Thank you, Teresa. All right, before I tell the Joan Baez related story, I'm going to do a quick check and see what's going on with the Kickstarter, because some of you might be interested to know. All right, we are 29% funded, which basically means that you guys are awesome. Deep breath for me. Okay, so last fall, so a year ago at this time, I was taking a Spanish class at one of the local universities. I took Spanish for 6 or 7 years in middle school, high school, and 1 semester in college, and I was pretty fluent in it at that time. But then, I didn't get to use it much, so I can still read it and understand it to some degree, but without speaking it, you just kind of lose the ability to keep up. So I took this course to just kind of brush things up a little bit. I also do some Duolingo, but just being able to be in a class with people and just speak the language was really nice. And one of the projects that we did was we were supposed to choose a person to do a presentation on. And so I chose Joan Baez, and I did a presentation about her activism, her music, just her story, and decided to do a song of hers as well. I'm going to play that one first, and then I'll do mine. I feel like I'm cheating, but it's a beautiful song. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, it's still a beautiful song. But this is called Las Madres Cansadas, and it translates to all the weary mothers of the world. And basically, it's a song about when the weary people of the world will finally be able to rest. And essentially, it's when the guns are laid down and when the workers in the field are treated with the same respect as the wealthy. So all these different social things that we need to strive for, so that those of us who, I shouldn't say those of us, those people who feel tired and oppressed can finally rest and be at peace.
Cada madre agobiada ya descansará, y en nuestros brazos sus criaturas reposarán. Cuando el sol se pone sobre el campo, amor y música les brindaremos. Y las madres cansadas ya descansarán. Y el campesino con su arado y su tractor en la frente la extraña frescura sentirá de las lágrimas de pena derramadas por los comerciantes, y los agricultores ya descansarán. Cuando los soldados sus caritas dejarán y en las trincheras sus uniformes quemarán. Oh mi general, tus fieles tropas ya se habrán olvidado de ti. Y la gente del mundo ya descansará.
Hi, JD. That's true, Robin. That is very true. So, my song. So after taking this Spanish class and after doing this research project on Joan Baez, I was feeling inspired to do something a little more political. I would have never considered myself a political songwriter before the last, I'm going to say 18 months or so. And yet, here we are. And this album has a distinct, not political in the sense of, a specific candidate or a specific party, but political, social activism, things like that. So the song that I want to do for you now was written about immigration and about this idea of the wall being built. But it's really an analogy for the wall that already exists because of how we judge people that are different from us. And it doesn't matter if they speak a different language or, they are a different ethnicity, different religion, different culture. It doesn't matter. When we meet people who are different than us and we judge them, we are putting up a wall, physical or not. So this song is about trying to take that wall down and giving yourself a chance to get to know people on an individual level instead of jumping to conclusions. I know it's difficult. I do it myself for sure, but I'm trying.
No es necesario construir un muro. El muro ya se alza, el camino ya está cerrado y el lejano horizonte desaparecerá de vista si seguimos construir el muro entre tú y yo. Nuestro miedo mutuo crea una barrera más fuerte que el hierro, más ancha que el mundo, que nadie puede trepar y nadie puede rodear. Si el muro se yergue entre tú y yo, al cerrar tus ojos lo levantas, al cerrar tus oídos lo levantas, al cerrar tu corazón levantas el muro. And when you close your eyes, you build it, and when you close your heart, you build the wall. Vemos al granjero, pero no vemos al padre. Vemos a la criada, pero no vemos a la madre. Solo vemos los problemas y nunca a las personas. Cuando el muro se alza entre tú y yo, oímos el acento y no las buenas ideas. Oímos el extranjero y no nuestro vecino. Solo oímos las diferencias y nunca la igualdad. Cuando el muro se alza entre tú y yo, al cerrar tus ojos levantas, al cerrar tus oídos levantas, al cerrar tu corazón levantas el muro. And when you close your eyes, you build it, and when you close your ears, you build it, and when you close your heart, you build the wall. Al cerrar tu corazón, levantas el muro.
So last year when I was at OVFF, they had a songwriting competition, and the cue that had been given for the year, so people could write something within the year, was music is the universal language. And so I decided to submit that song, even though it wasn't quite it sort of fit the bill, but not quite. But one of the judges gave me the comment that they really enjoyed it because it reminded them of Joan Baez. So that just made my day, and it didn't matter if I won or not. So I'm going to lead that into another story, but first I'm going to show you another reward option for the Kickstarter. So let me set this down for just a second. So certainly the new album is one of your options, and you can get a signed copy of the new album, and you can get some artwork, and you can also get the Stuffy Pack. And there's only 5 of them available, and I will show you what comes in the Stuffy Pack. This is a harken back to some of the songs off my previous albums, but I thought it would be fun to offer now because it's not something I've ever offered before. So you get 3 handmade creations by me. Job is not available anywhere else except as part of the Stuffy Pack. I do not make Job, but I take care of the barding for him. So this is Job, the armored donkey. If you're not familiar with that song, you probably haven't heard me perform a lot. This is Corduroy Ninja. Some of you might know the story of this one. This one was made by my husband, and the rest of the Corduroy Ninja Army was made by me. And you will also get a tiny kraken, and it will not be my little can kraken, but it will be something similar to this in a different color. So that is one of the very special, unique reward levels. Also, I apologize. Someone had, I think it was Kat, had asked in the comments earlier if that is a cello behind me, and it is. I decided another thing that I wanted to do to stay sane over the winter, because I wasn't sure whether or not the album would happen, is to work on learning some new instrument stuff. And so I have an electric cello that I am starting to learn. That's right, Annie. That's what caught your attention at Sirius a couple years back, right? I feel like we've known each other so much longer. It is a unique stuffy pack. Yeah, so there's 5 of those available, assuming that no one has ordered it yet. I haven't looked at the details on what people are ordering. So, okay, so the previous song was going to lead me into a different story. I believe you do need to join Kickstarter to donate. Yes, I think you need to have an account on there because they're going to set up the credit card through them. Yeah, 2018. That sounds right. Yeah, the stuffy pack is only for the US. I really wasn't sure how that was going to go, shipping that one abroad. And since there were only 5 of them, I decided to keep it simple for me rather than worrying that the cost of shipping might change drastically. So I'm sorry about that. That's why I did lots of digital stuff so that you can still do some other fun stuff with me. Okay, so the other songwriting competition at OVFF last year was we're going to give you a clue on Friday, and you have until Sunday afternoon to write a song about it and perform it, and then we'll judge your song. And so the cue was Lost in Translation. And partly because I had already performed my song in Spanish, I didn't want to go with something in Spanish again. And I was thinking about, what are other ways that messages get lost other than just through language confusion? And I started thinking about body language and social anxiety and how our messages and our cues get lost when we are nervous about interacting with other people, and things that we intend for other people to understand sometimes get lost in the shuffle. And I also think that I am not alone in having some social anxiety amongst the FILT community, so I thought people would be able to appreciate this idea. And so I ran with it, and this is the song that I submitted for the contest, and this one actually won. So this is Lost in Translation, and on the album, I am definitely going to be adding some walking bass lines to this and some percussion, maybe some melodic percussion. We'll see where that goes. But for now, here's the live version for you. I meant to say I like you, but I just hid my eyes. I meant to introduce myself, but my God, what would that imply? So I'll just sit here quietly and somehow hope you guess all the things that I can't say. My social graces are a mess, and all my good intentions are just lost in translation. We're speaking the same language, but my message goes astray. My social anxiety comes across as impropriety. I only hope my muddled cues don't chase you away. If you like a puzzle, try me on for size. Hours of decoding fun are yours. I'm quite a prize. The smallest knot my great esteem, while wide eyes hold my pain. When I run and hide, you'll know you've captivated me again. And all my good intentions are just lost in translation. We're speaking the same language, but my message goes astray. My social anxiety comes across as impropriety. I only hope my muddled cues don't chase you away. In time you'll find you hear the words that never leave my lips. My feelings like the sun, still there despite a full eclipse. You'll need a bit of patience, don't judge me by today. Perhaps a few years down the road, I won't have to say that all my good intentions are just
lost in translation. We're speaking the same language, but my message goes astray. My social anxiety comes across as impropriety. I only hope my muddled cues don't chase you away. 'Cause all my good intentions are just lost in translation. We're speaking the same language, but my message goes astray. My social anxiety comes across as impropriety. But if you get it, you might make a new friend today. Yeah, if you get it, you might make a new friend today.
That would be a little bit extreme, Chris. One of the things I find hilarious is when I'm doing closed captioning for videos. You can do an automated thing on YouTube or Facebook, and normally I submit the text and then just make sure it's timed out correctly. But if they auto caption something for you, it's an interesting way to see how good your enunciation is and see how far off their closed captioning guesses are. All right. So behind me, you can see this kind of like purple box in front of a purple cabinet. So the last couple of weekends, I have been working on creating a better recording space here so that I can record the album, should it be funded, of course. So my closet is lined with acoustic tiles on the ceiling and part of the back of the closet, and then also purple fleece blankets. And I have a cardboard box, which my husband took last weekend and added some paneling stabilizers to the bottom so that I could attach it to my mic stand and keep it nice and upright. And I've got some purple acoustic tiles in that so I can sing into that and get rid of any bouncing around the room sounds. And then I've got a similar box that you probably can't see that's behind there, which is my guitar baffle. Similar setup, but I use black acoustic tiles for that because I figured if I'm gonna throw a bunch of tiles and blankets into my closet, I might as well make them purple and black because that is how I roll. That seems like a good tie into agreeable gray. All right, once again, let me know if you have any questions about the songs or about the Kickstarter. One of the other rewards that's available is a purple autographed USB drive that has my entire back catalog on it. So in addition to the new CD, you're going to get 12 albums that I have already released, which includes, I want to say, 7 original studio albums and then 5 more live style albums, which is a mix of my originals and the 50s and 60s folk rock stuff that I like to do. Another kind of interesting reward that's on there that is not music at all, but fits the idea of the album, which is dealing with challenges and moving forward with hope and positivity. Just tuning and not doing a very good job of it while I'm trying to talk about the album. So the reward that I'm talking about is a distance Reiki session. So it's not music related, but it's about relieving some of the stress that you might be carrying physically or emotionally right now. I am a certified level 2 Reiki practitioner. One of my previous roles was the dice witch. So I would go to conventions and I would bless people's dice, which essentially meant that I was Reikiing people's dice. But I also use gemstones because they each have their own energy. And so I would use those together with the Reiki to sort of infuse the dice with different properties. And my husband, who is part of a regular D&D group. He was GMing at one point, and they were at his friend's house playing, and he texts me and he says, "Can you distance Reiki my dice? Because I'm just rolling really bad tonight." And I hadn't asked him for specifics about what system they were playing, and so I was thinking D20s. So I was like, well, I'm going to visualize like a 16 and kind of send the Reiki energy to his dice with that in mind. Well, they were playing a D6 system, not a D20 system. So 16 was like way overkill. And 5-10 minutes later, he texted me back. He's like, I almost just KO'd the entire party. So good job with the Reiki. So yeah, it works. Dulcimer. Will there be any song text on the USB? Probably not. However, there are lyrics and chords up to several of the albums that I have on Bandcamp, and those are free to access, so you can access the chords for those. And then for the current album, one of the stretch goals of the Kickstarter is to do a PDF that I will send to everybody who backs the album that will have the lyrics, the chords, and some notes about the way that I arrange things or the way that I chose to do things on the recording. So for people who want to learn the songs, like to do in a folk circle or something like that, that's one of the stretch goals that I have. Saw a dulcimer. Yes, I do have a dulcimer. I'm actually looking at it right now. That's a good question. I'm not positive about that. I'm going to say maybe to the dulcimer being on one of the songs. There's most of the songs I have sort of rough arrangements of, but until I get the basic tracks laid down, I won't have keyed in whether or not I'm going to have like some extra tracks and layering going on. So I'm going to give that a maybe. All right. This is Reggie, Sir Reginald. That's right. Get all of your Filk friends to throw a few bucks at the album, and we'll get that stretch goal, and everybody will get the chords. So Agreeable Gray, for those of you who don't know, was inspired by a commercial from a hardware store, and they were advertising that they carried the most popular paint color, and it's called Agreeable Gray. So my mind just immediately ran with that and thought, what if you not only picked this sort of subtle, pleasant paint color that's not going to bother anyone or be too distracting, and applied that same logic to every decision that you made in your life, and just try to ride the middle line where you don't offend anyone and you kind of push yourself back into a corner because you don't want to show any sort of personality that might be offensive. That's what this song is about.
Agreeable gray, oh what a day. Everything's right in the middle. Nothing too bright, keep it just right. Tone down that color a little. If you're o'erflowing with style and grace, many will love you, it's true. But some might be jealous or have different tastes. And I don't like conflict, do you? Keep your hair long, don't sing that song. Think of what others might say. Personality, not my cup of tea. Opinions just get in the way. If you're o'erflowing with style and grace, many will love you, it's true. But some might be jealous or have different tastes. And I don't like conflict, do you? Don't try to be yourself. Put it on the highest shelf. No one will see it, but you'll know it's there. Covered with dust and maybe cat years from now, you'll take it down and think about what could have been, what might have been, what might have been. Those who love bland, they understand. No disappointment, no joy. Look straight ahead, swallow your dread. You've chosen not to annoy. Don't try to be yourself. Put it on the highest shelf. No one will see it, but you'll know it's there, covered with dust and maybe cat hair. Someday, years from now, you'll take it down and think about what could have been, what might have been, what could still be. Agreeable gray, oh, what a day. Everything's right in the middle.
Hey, Thorsten. What time is it where you are? I think that says something important. It is fine if you choose agreeable gray for your walls. Just don't choose it for everything in your life. Oh, that's nice. Restream just sent me a message. Congratulations, you've gotten 100 chat messages today on your Restream chat, which is, not exactly my goal, but okay. Take what I can get. Whoa. Okay, so the last time I checked, I was at 29%, and I just checked, and now we're at 46% funded, guys. So almost halfway there. What do you think? If I do a few more songs tonight, do you think we'll make it to that 50%? Let's find out. I don't have any other songs on the album that are going to be primarily ukulele. So the majority of songs that I'm going to be doing for the album are going to be vocal and guitar to start, and then other layers will happen around those. So there will definitely be some auto harp on there, but I think it's going to be layered with the guitar, so not something I'm playing just auto harp. Same deal with the ukulele. So instead of playing something off the album, I'm going to play a song that I know that Annie likes because she's here. That you have taste, yes. Let me double check. I know you're gonna laugh at this. I'm double checking the tuning on the uke because something's a little sour here. He's just a little guy. He's very sensitive to weather changes. $102 to go for 50%. All right. Well, that would be like one USB drive or a reward level I did not talk about yet. So there is an option to have me write a song for you, a full-length song, and that's a higher reward level. But I decided to also offer sort of an intermediate reward level, which is to have me write a chant or mantra for you. So it wouldn't be a full-length song. It would probably be more along the lines of a minute long, but it would be primarily vocals, maybe some vocal harmonies. And the idea would be to send you a song, a mantra, a chant that you could use for your own motivation, something that you could play once a day, once a week to reinforce whatever goal you are working towards. So it's another fun level. Thank you, Teresa. So this was on my last album. It's a parody of a Taylor Swift song. And it's all about me and how type A personality I am. Personality type A. I do things my own way. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. You'll never see me late. Can't stand too slow a pace. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I never sleeping. Can't seem to stop thinking. Even if I feel I'm sinking. If it says to do, baby, I'm gonna see it through. And now the house is quite a wreck. But if you give me a sec, I'm just gonna check it off. I check it off. And now I've gathered all the specs. Got
got jobs up to my neck. I'm just gonna check. Check 'em off, I check 'em off, I'll check 'em off, I'll check 'em off. I add things one by one. I like to get them done. For me, it's kind of fun. For me, it's kind of fun. When the list is extra long, I'll be feeling extra strong. So you can bring it on. You can bring it on. I never sleeping, can't seem to stop thinking. Even if I feel I'm sinking, if it says to do, baby, I'm gonna see it through. Now the house is quite a wreck. But if you give me a sec, I'm just gonna check. Check it off, I check it off. And now I've gathered all the specs. Got jobs up to my neck. I'm just gonna check. Check 'em off, I check 'em off. I'll check 'em off, I'll check 'em off. I'll check 'em off, I'll check 'em off. Oh.
You have to get up in 4 hours. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. If you want to hang out, you hang out. Three stuffies gone. That means there's only 2 stuffy packs to go. There is a good reason that one is so limited, because chainmail barding takes a long time. So let me tell you a little bit about a couple of the songs that I am not going to play tonight because they don't have live versions. One of them is called Stones Speak, and it's a little more towards the pagan end of my musical spectrum. But it's really just about reconnecting with the earth, and each verse looks at stones in a different light and how stones interweave in our lives and how we connect to them and what kind of energy we roll with from them. So in the recording that I did of it, the original release of it was with synth on the keyboard and vocals, and that was pretty much it. I am looking at having some bagpipes on that one, but I want to make it actually more upbeat and a little bit heavier because I want that feel of Stones. So I'm thinking some deep drums and the bagpipes and just kind of really filling it out. Job is pretty irresistible. Maybe I'll play Job in a little bit. Another song that I'm not going to perform tonight because it doesn't have a live version. It's similar to Wild Swans in that there's a lot of vocal looping, but it's a little more intricate, and I haven't been able to figure out yet how I could make it really work with the pedal in a live sense. But it's called Keep Your Head Up, and it really probably summarizes the idea of this album about as well as The Long Road does. The idea of when you are feeling overwhelmed, as I don't know if anybody else is feeling it, but this year and the last few months in particular, I suppose, have just been so much, financial concerns, physical health concerns, political concerns, societal concerns, social concerns, everything. So Keep Your Head Up is about just that, finding those little things that you can do to keep you walking straight and keep you unbent, unbroken. I'm going to play you a love song. I'm going to play it for you first, and then I'm going to explain it.
Her hair is dark as the black bear It spilled down simple and free. Her skin a golden sand, as pure as love could be. Her feet bare to the mother, as she walks through the field. She feels the warmth rise up through the earth. It's love to her who will yield. The first time that he saw her, he named her the maiden sun. It seemed each stem and creature leaned close, her touch a prize to be won. He left one day on a journey to bring her back the world, until one day in a land far from home, he met a nomad girl. The scent of spice and smoke followed wherever she did roam. Was both wild and free, all secrets hers to own. In her he found a balance of darkness and of bright. For her he felt a passion that burned both day and night. His heart seemed torn inside him as he thought of his maiden son. Never had he meant to leave her alone, but he knew now he'd found the one. Now he and his gypsy girl will live both wild and free. The world lay bare to their desire, its riches spilled at their feet. Now mourn not for the maiden he thought he'd left behind, for she knew the truth long before he could see. They'd only share the world for a time. Her feet still bear to the mother as she walks through the fields. She feels the warmth rise up through the earth. It's love to her who will yield. It's love to her who will yield.
All right, first of all, I have to apologize because I did not mean to sing Gypsy Girl. I meant to change it to Nomad Girl, and I made a mistake because I have sung it that way so many times, and then I became aware that that is a slur that I don't want to be using. So I'm working on it. I have changed it in the lyrics, but it is still in my head. So, all right. Yeah, I'm so glad that people are finding this soothing, relaxing, a nice escape for everybody, which is great. All right. I think we're stuck at that 46%, which is okay. We have done well tonight. And I think I'm going to wrap it up with one more tonight because tomorrow is another day. Thanks, Thomas. This is actually, this is one of the stretch goals because this song does not fit the theming of the album at all, but it's a weird, fun song, and I'd like to be able to do a recording of it anyway. So it'll be a bonus for all the backers if we get to that far. This is called The Wishing Tub. Hold on. Back it up. I forgot I was going to tell you the story of that other one after I finished it. So my mom always says, you don't need to tell people the real story. They'll never know. But I think it's kind of fun. So that story, the love song, was about a love triangle in a sense where everyone basically gets something that makes them happy. But that was actually written about my guitar, Rhea. She's the nomad girl in this story. And the drummer that I used to play with, Sue, her go-to drum, she played a number of drums, but the one that we used most together, his name was Alex, and he's the male character in the story. And the original, the indigenous Native American girl that he meets at first, that is a guitar that did not come home with me. So we went to this old lock house in Ohio, and they just had hundreds of gorgeous, amazing guitars. And so spent several hours there just taking them all out and playing all these, Gibsons and Martins and Larave's, and narrowed it down to two. And then Sue brought her drum up so that we could play the guitars with the drum and kind of see what the energy was between them. And I kept going back and forth, but it really felt like Rhea, this guitar, and Alex had a certain energy that neither of us could deny. So Rhea came home with me, and the other guitar stayed behind. So that was the part of the love triangle that got left behind. To the nomad thing, it's like you don't want to make a big deal of it, but I do want to recognize that it was a mistake, and I'm making an effort. And I think I'm probably there are probably other people out there who don't realize yet that that is a slur and a word that we need to work on getting out of our vocabulary and substituting. In my case, I decided that Roma was not specific to the concept that I wanted. I just wanted a nomad, sort of in a more general sense for that song, because this girl is just wild and free and not tied down to anything. All right, back to the weirdness of the wishing tub. This is a fable about a wishing tub, and you can wish for anything you want and it will come true, but a spider or spiders commensurate with the size of your wish will emerge from the tub.
Make a wish, little boy, for a bright, shiny toy. Wish for candy, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a tiny spider, too. Make a wish, little girl, for a sweet pink pearl. Wish for a kitty cat, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a small spider, too. The wishing tub, it's fun and it's scary. Darkness falls upon the world with each wish from the wishing tub. Make a wish, young man, for a tricky plan. Wish for laughter, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come an average spider, too. Make a wish, young lady, for a boyfriend Brady. Wish for good grades, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a large spider, too. The wishing tub, it's powerful and strange. Darkness falls upon the world with each wish from the wishing tub. Make a wish, good sir, for a personal chauffeur. Wish for a mansion, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a huge spider, too. Make a wish, mistress, for a growing business. Wish for fame, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a giant spider, too. The wishing tub, it's wonderful and vile. Darkness falls upon the world with each wish from the wishing tub. Make a wish, everyone, for unending fun. Wish for world peace, too. And on the day that your wish comes true, there'll come a massive spider, too. The wishing tub, it's magic and it's death. Darkness falls upon the world with each wish from the wishing tub.
All right. So I think I'm going to wrap up with that. I actually had an online concert for one of my assisted living facilities earlier today, so my voice is kind of like, all right, we've done enough. But thank you all so much for joining me tonight, not just for backing the Kickstarter, which I certainly appreciate, but I had asked a lot of people to show up tonight, whether or not you wanted to back the Kickstarter, just to give me some good energy and motivation to get this off the ground. I love performing, so this is the joy part for me. But promoting and marketing, not so much a love of mine, so that'll be the less fun part over the next couple of weeks. But Monday mornings, I'm doing a regular kind of casual concert, so you can always hop into that same place that you're watching now. It's available on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, starting at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. And I've got a couple things coming up as well. There's a PhilCon concert that I'm involved with this weekend, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and there's going to be Philk concerts all throughout the weekend as well as open Philk circles, so definitely check that out. Just look up PhilCon if you're not familiar with it. That's Philk with a PH, because it usually happens in the Philly area. And yeah, if you know somebody who might enjoy my music, I'm going to share this on my Rhiannon's Lark Facebook business page as well. So this concert is a great way to kind of have people check out whether or not they think they will like the album. I think it's the best representation. So, but I am really grateful that that this was a respite for some of you. I am joyful to offer that. And all right, that's it for me tonight. And I hope to sing for you all again soon. Oh, I just broke 50%. Yay! That will help me sleep well tonight. All right. Great. All right.